Mike Reese here, owner of Avairo Designs, web development and digital marketing. And today I want to talk to you about Google Search Console and how it gives some insight into how your audience is finding your site organically through non-paid searches. In Google's words, this is a free service offered by Google that helps you monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence in Google search results. As a business owner, you really should be aware of Google Search Console and at least understand some basics. It has many functions, including the ability to migrate or merge domains so you don't lose your Google search rankings if you make an update to your URL to add additional services. There are two ownership types in Google Search Console. The first is verified ownership. This means you're the actual owner and you have access to the domain registrar or the hosting site and the actual HTML code on the website. The other kind is delegated ownership. This is where you're granted permissions by the verified owner and you can perform most functions in Google Search Console. The big exception is being able to make brand name changes where you actually change the address or the URL of the website. There are also a few different verification types. The two I'll talk about today are the DNS or domain name verification and the HTML verification. Domain name verification is probably the one you'll want to use. It's the most comprehensive. It covers all the variations of your domain name and includes your secure and non-secure variants, which while today you should just be using HTTPS, the good thing about this type is that it'll also cover HTTP. So that's all the combinations of, say, www.avairo.com or courses.avairo.com or just avairo.com. And the secure and non-secure variations. HTML will only verify one combination, such as https://avairo.com versus https://www.avairo.com. It would actually treat those as two different ones. So in most cases, you'll want to choose the domain name verification or DNS verification instead. We know that you want to be a verified owner and we want to use the domain name or DNS verification method. So let's get that started. So first you want to open the Google Search Console and you want to make sure you have a Google account or a Gmail account that you want to use for this. It may ask you to log in to that account. It may ask you to start a new Google Search Console account. So go ahead and do that. To get to it, you go to search.google.com/search-console. Now, once you're in, you're going to start by clicking on the three bars at the top, and depending where you are, you may already have your domain name in here. Maybe it's not DNS verified. And if you don't have a domain name in there, you should see the option under the drop down here. And so where I have avairo.com, you'll click on that down arrow and you will add a property. So if you already have your domain name in there, this step won't be for you. But if you're adding a property, you'll want to, under select property type, you'll want to enter in your domain name and you want to select this domain type. You're only going to use your root domain. So in my case, that's avairo.com, not courses.avairo.com or www.avairo.com. All right, so you should see this window next. Verify your domain ownership via DNS record. And for those of you who have already got your domain name in there, we'll go over that process in just a second. So the most important thing here is where it says Google Site Verification and copy. You just want to copy that text and hold on to it because we're going to use that in a few minutes. Maybe you want to post it into Notepad or a Word document for temporary safekeeping. Now, if you already have a domain name added, you'll have to go through a couple extra steps to also verify via the DNS or domain name verification method. So you should log into the Google Search Console again, and this time you want to go to search.google.com/search console/ownership. The other way to get to it is to look under your search property again, click the three bars, click your domain, and then on the left you'll scroll down and you'll see a settings gear. And then on the right you want to scroll down to the verification methods, and you're going to select domain name provider. And this is where you find your Google site verification code. So Google does provide some instructions for various registrars, but this is the part that you'll need to figure out what your registrar method of creating a text record is. So you're going to want to create a new text or TXT DNS record at your registrar. And there you're going to enter in the Google verification code. If it asks for a TTL, or it's called a time to live, you're going to select 3600. We can get into that a little bit later, what that does. And what I would recommend is to search with Google how to create a text record at GoDaddy or at your registrar. Now, if you don't know what a registrar is where your domain name lives. It's kind of like buying an address in an address book. So the domain name, in my case, is Avairo.com. So I will go to a registrar, and depending on where I registered it, that's where I'd enter this DNS record. Typical registrars, there's hundreds out there, but some of the biggest ones are GoDaddy, Epic, Squarespace, 1&1, which has become Ionos, Bluehost, HostGator, Network Solutions. There's several. It does depend a little bit where you started your journey here. If you, for example, signed up with Wix or Squarespace, you might actually be registered with them, so you'll have to log into their consoles. But this is something that just about every registrar out there has specific instructions on how to do, and if you search for that, you'll get the instructions, and you should be able to do it yourself. All right, I hope that was really helpful. If you'd like a copy of these steps, I'll leave a link below, or you can go to the link here, www.avairo.com/GSC-offer, and I'll send you a free copy of these steps so you can have them and refer to. All right, have a great day.